I was, yes.
I thought I saw you sitting back there.
I was there.
Okay, perfect. So I'll ask, welcome everyone to the June 1st NSA Ad Hoc Committee meeting. I'll go ahead and share my screen. We're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so this is our agenda for tonight. Uh, Briefly discuss the timeline as that pertains to the CMC, basically. Was hoping to do a CMC recap, but I can recap what I saw online, and our chief of staff was also there. IG, were you there by chance?
He
Yes,
was.
I was there with the executive director as well of SIPRA.
Hmm.
Perfect. Okay, so if you guys want to give your thoughts during that part of the meeting, that would be great. And then we'll go over the opioid MOU proposal letter status. I think I literally just saw an email with that going out, so that's great. Thank you, Micah.
You're welcome.
And then I wanted to briefly discuss the status of the OPD template that we're going to bring back to the full commission at our next meeting. I just rewatched the portion of the meeting where we discussed that back at the end of May. So with that, in regard to the timeline, the only thing that I was going to mention was that the next CMC is going to be September 29th, I believe. Same, more than likely, same time, same location, and that's pretty much with that in terms of a timeline. Uh, as far as a CMC recap goes, I did watch when the police commission spoke online, and I saw when Bridget Martin from the city attorney's office was speaking. I got most of Mayor, I think I got all of Mayor Lee's comments. I didn't see if and when OPD went and spoke before the judge or the prosecuting attorneys. Um, but for folks that were there, such as our chief of staff and inspector general who were here, what were your thoughts on what was presented to the judge? For
Well,
any,
first, I believe it was the plaintiff attorneys that spoke the judge at first, John Burris and Jim Shannon, uh,
Hmm.
followed by the third person over there. I forgot his name. I think overall they seem to be satisfied with going forward with um, with potentially getting out of oversight. I think that when it came down to the city, Bridget Martin and the mayor, when they spoke, it was more of, for the most part, not really putting in a date of like, hey, how long is this sustainability going to last, but more to ensure the court that they're ready to proceed with, getting on their own without federal oversight. There were a lot of people there, I think there are two former mayors plus the mayor, the current mayor, and it was pretty much a packed courthouse. Um, the only thing that I would have liked to see is more of a communication between the city and the judge specifically on, hey, do we look at sustainability period from 2000 and I think 22 to
Mhm.
present, or are we going to start the sustainability period after full compliance? I don't think that was, at least I didn't get that clear through what I was hearing. And that's one of the things I would like to more solidify. Are we getting out, or is the federal of oversight in February? I'm sorry, in March. I'm sorry, September.
In
September.
September.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think back in
Is
2022. Thank you for that. But I think back in 2022 that they said that the sustainability period was going to be 1 year only. Um, that's what I remember. Micah?
yes, I believe what the judge was saying that he started it early. Do you recall that he said I kind of jumped the gun and started it early, maybe a year or so before to start that period. So he was saying that once we get ready to do that, the milestone is really that the federal oversight would cease in September. He's willing to do that. But we can definitely get confirmation again and look at it and see exactly what he said.
Can you order the transcript?
Yeah, it should be coming soon. They usually send it right after. So I haven't received it. As soon as I do, I'll forward it to the commission.
Excellent.
Oh, mhm.
Um, Either way, this is like milestone great news for us to be at this point. Obviously, the auditing of the NSA tasks and all that work to stay in compliance with constitutional policing will never stop.
Hmm.
But to get out from federal oversight saves the city and us as taxpayers millions of dollars a year. And I just hope all goes well during the sustainability period, and we stay on the same track. Um, that's pretty much it for the CMC recap. And then the next thing on the agenda is the MOU proposal letter status. And like I said at the beginning, I think I literally saw an email from Micah saying that that was going out today, which is great.
Yep.
Uh,
It's already out. It's been sent. So the email you saw was just your copy of it.
okay.
Um, I sent it to all of the stakeholders we talked about before. I have an email address for Hui Nguyen,
Yeah.
but it bounced back. So I'm just following up to get the correct email address so that I can make sure he's looped in, but everyone else has been looped in as of maybe about 20 minutes ago.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for being on top of that. That's great news.
Hmm.
Um, and then in terms of the OPD template, so we're going to bring that back to the full commission at our next meeting, first one in June, June 11th, and hopefully finalize that between now and then. The chair said he's going to try to get with DC Osmus to iron out any final details that we talked about at the last meeting, or the meeting in May when we discussed it. We also discussed this at the last meeting. I guess that was the last meeting in May. But the meeting that we had when we discussed this with OPD about the final details was the first meeting in May. So we've been discussing it a lot.
Hmm.
Um, and then in terms of what was discussed at that first meeting in May, in terms of feedback that people wanted to see, um, we asked whether we could go into more detail about racial disparities, such as including information about walking stops, not just traffic stops, as well as handcuffings and length of detentions. The question was, do we put that in the template or do we put that elsewhere? And then OPD revealed that they actually do a quarterly report on all that information, but it's done confidentially, obviously. But they've invited police commissioners or a police commissioner or police commissioners to attend that meeting if they want. And I think maybe we should add that as an opportunity to collaborate with OPD and maybe just take that information off of the template. The other option was to get with OPD about reporting about that information on the template, but doing it really high level in like a 10 to 15 minute time frame, because they said that when they do the report out to the other city stakeholders, it's like minimum 2 hour meeting. So obviously we can't do that at a police commission meeting. So that was the initial concern brought about that in May. More information about that. And then um, we talked about getting rid of the administrative leave sections and the juvenile info and some of the cost breakdown information. I said you can get rid of the military reservist info. We can probably get rid of the macro info. We can get rid of a lot of that info, in addition to the 7 sections that we've already gotten rid of. Um, or not get rid of some of that, such as the admin leave or the juvenile info, and provide more context as to why it's there. And what I was going to propose, I was hoping Ricardo was going to be here. What I was going to propose is that there's already like the collaboration with the community section, and then it states like what groups are outlined in the charter that we collaborate with, like when we do community outreach, for example, and do like those public meetings. And so juvenile, there's already like a section for juveniles there. Maybe we want to add some of that information there as far as and putting it in maybe a different context. Or another option is um, putting that stuff as an agenda item somewhere else, in a police commission meeting at some point in the year. Maybe it's something that is reported out, quarterly, isn't necessarily for the template. But I really wanted to hear what everyone's thoughts were, and we'll come together as a group and decide what we want to do collectively. Um, let's see.
Just to let you know, Commissioner Farmer, Chair, his daughter graduated from school today, so that's what he's
Uh,
focusing on. So, yeah,
yeah,
just wanted
well,
to give you a heads up
congratulations.
with that.
I
So, more than likely, he will not be here because he's focusing on that, but I wanted you to know.
Okay, it makes sense. I was doing that last week too, so I totally understand.
Yes.
Um, and then in terms of the admin information, uh, the reasons for keeping it were that it pertains to Scally hearing information and some of the discipline information, how that's going. But we need to discuss that a little bit more further as well. But OPD, when we got feedback from them, felt like in terms of the information we were requesting and things we were requesting on doing that, it was pretty close to being finalized in terms of whether they could do it or provide the information or not, which is great. So we're just going to wait for Chair to be able to sit down with DC Osmus and then bring it back to the commission. And that's pretty much it. I'm just glancing at my notes here. That's pretty much it that I have written down in terms of notes. Um, and then we did talk a little bit about the IG section on the template, IG. And initially, OPD was a little bit confused. They thought that we were asking them to report out on everything that you're doing in terms of the audit. And then I tried to reframe it in the way that you said to me that you just want them to report to us how that audit is specifically going. Is that what you want? Is that what you intended,
Well,
basically, or how would you say it?
kind of. I think the focus would be how OPD is complying with our recommendations, our past recommendations. So we had issued probably maybe 15 recommendations total. And some of those recommendations are implemented, some of them are pending implementation. And so we would like to figure out, I think, as far as with OPD, where are they in each one of the recommendations that have not been implemented?
Okay. So status of Rex not implemented yet. Okay. All right. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I will say that to them next time we discuss this, so that we can move that topic along as well. Um, that's pretty much it in terms of where we're at with the NSA Ad Hoc. I was going to say that after this meeting, we can probably um, maybe take the rest of this month off and then uh, decide what our next steps are. And with the news, with the CMC happening in late September, we can decide as a commission what those steps are.
Perfect. That's what I was going to ask, if I need to cancel the other meetings, and I will do that for you. Good
Yeah,
work, you guys. Good work. Even the people who aren't on the call, you guys did a lot of work. So I just want to make sure you heard that from someone other than what you feel in your heart.
well, that's very nice to hear that from you. Thank you. Is there
Hmm.
anyone here from the public?
Let's see here. We've got one attendee. That's Mrs. Sada. Welcome, Mrs. Sada.
Yeah, if she would like to make a comment, feel free to.
Yeah, I was a little bit concerned this morning. The city council had a meeting related to the budget and related to the NSA, $400,000 for the hiring of a sustainability NSA administrator. And then someone from the Coalition for Police Accountability thought that the inspector general would be able to handle that portion of the work that this $400,000 administrator would get. So I was very concerned about that because I know someone mentioned also the budget being underfunding of CIPRA and other areas. I'm not sure of the police commission, but was just concerned if you as this body aware of the sustainability portion of the NSA and how the mayor's office is recommending to move forward with that sustainability component. And did this body work on recommendations for sustainability once that part of the NSA was put forward? And thank you for the time.
Yeah, no, thank you for your comment. And I was not aware that they discussed that today at City Council for a sustainability administrator position. Um,
They called it a what did they called it? Um, Constitutional Policing Administrator
okay,
related to and that's the title.
and
And
I guess
mhm.
that's an addition to Michelle Phillips' role. That's a new position being.
It's a new position, and the salary would be $400,000 a year.
Wow. Okay. Well, I would personally much rather see investments made into the IG's
Yeah.
office. I mean, that's why
Yes,
this is here.
I agree. And so I don't know. All of this is recommendations. So at some point, I hope someone will step up. I know the uh, Coalition for Police Accountability did step up
Hmm.
to say that this could be handled with the Inspector General. It even alluded to the Measure LL having a mandate related to that.
Hmm.
But I just don't see that kind of money being invested, and we really need other areas of police commission, CIPRA director needs staffing and so forth.
Yeah.
So I hope someone will weigh in on it and have an opportunity to maybe convince another direction related to uh, NSA sustainability.
Yeah. Micah, let's hold off on canceling the next meeting after this, just in case we want to convene and discuss this as a group. I'll put out an email about that because um, maybe we wanted to start to discuss sustainability if the city is already has plans. That's great that they're planning. I just wish that the investments were made into the police commission. Um,
Okay. If we could do that, but I would recommend that that be the last meeting because we do not want this to be a continuous meeting. It has to end at some point, and we've had it for such a long time. We don't want it to look like a standing meeting.
and
So we just kind of have to manage that accordingly.
yeah, yeah, just don't cancel the next one. The one after that, all the ones after that, we can pause. We can cancel those for now.
You got it.
All right, IG.
Thank you. I just wanted to follow up on what Mr. Sada was saying. So the constitutional administrator, the mayor, spoke about it in the court last
Oh, okay.
week during the CMC, and she said that she's creating a constitutional administrator unit. And I did look at the city administrator's budget. I'm not sure if it was the mayor or the city administrator budget, and they had set aside $700,000 for this constitutional policing unit. I think it's supposed to have one or two persons underneath that in that position as well. I agree with the Coalition of Police Accountability that money could be well used within the Office of Inspector General. When you talk about redundancy, and a lot of people complain about redundancy, this is another opportunity where the city may not look favorable because it looks like another redundancy where the Inspector General's office could use that money to do all audits. Instead, it's being done through the city administrator and the constitutional policing unit.
Hmm.
Yep. That's all I want to say about that.
No, thank you for clarifying that a little bit. And we did talk about potentially creating sustainability recommendations, but then the comment was made that we should maybe hold off on submitting more ideas about that and see how they want to move forward. But I guess we're seeing how they want to move forward with making investments like that. And I'm sure that's not everything, but um, we should start to gather this information. And even if we don't discuss it here in an ad hoc meeting, maybe we want to discuss that, just agendize it on our general meeting agenda for the full commission so we can have, a bigger discussion about it where everyone's included. So,
Maybe we can consider, Commissioner Farmer, maybe we could consider, instead of opening up the NSA ad hoc again later, is
yeah.
creating a new ad hoc that's specifically for sustainability purposes. And then that way those discussions can happen. It could take, you guys knock it out and then it's done. That way there's no confusion about what the NSA ad hoc is doing, because we're doing a lot of things.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's an option as well. But this is sustainability is directly related to NSA. So we have the group of people here that are best to have that discussion. I believe that Commissioner Grillo is going to be added. Here is going to be replacing Vice Chair Booker. And that'll be great to have his experience on the bench within this group as well. Him being an attorney and just experience in that arena as a judge. Looking at things through that lens, I think that will be helpful. But we can discuss that as that's an option too. So we need to put everything on the table and see where we land. So thank you for that recommendation. Any other comments, questions, concerns? Anyone wants to discuss? Anyone else from the public?
There's
No?
just Mr. Sada.
Okay. All right. Well, the meeting is adjourned then. Everyone have a good evening, and we'll follow up on this discussion about next steps as soon as possible. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Good night.